Salutations, it's me, Salty. Welcome to 2 Cents Toys, and today we're going over the Amazon exclusive Alpha Flight 6-pack, and I like this whole concept of putting kind of almost a whole team together. I mean, Guardian was released solo, Sasquatch was a Build-A-Figure, but mostly a whole team in one fell swoop. You just pay for it and you got it. Pretty cool, honestly. I'm really digging this artwork with Vindicator, Aurora, Shaman, Snowbird, Northstar, and Puck. The box is really tall, so if I zoom up here, you can see Alpha Flight, Marvel Legends, 80 years, all that kind of crap. You get the Canadian maple leaf in the back, that's pretty cool. On the top of the box here, we just get an Alpha Flight logo. On the side of the box here, we get Alpha Flight and then a list of the characters down the side, which I've already named them, but there they are again. Other side of the box is the same way. On the back of the box, we get this really cool kind of diorama with all 6 characters, big Alpha Flight logo, all the legalese stuff down here. On the bottom of the box, we got some more legalese and some tape. But jumping back to the front, this is actually a flap that opens up, and you get a nice window of all 6 figures. On the inside of that flap, you get just, Snowbird, Shaman, Aurora, all that, and then their real names and where they're from. Not much more of a read-up than that, honestly. But now that the box is out of the way, let's get them out, go over articulation and all that stuff. Alright, so here's the chunk of the team out of the box, and I have some quality control gripes, and some just kind of in general gripes, which, if you watch my channel enough, I'm going to complain, because it's what I'm good at. But overall, I like it. I'm going to say that up front. But we'll start from left to right, and we'll just go through each figure, go over articulation, sculpt, body molds, all the normal stuff we usually touch on. So let's get started. So up first is Snowbird. It's the same female body mold that we always get, which that's kind of my overall gripe. You'll see that throughout the other females because it's the same body mold almost every single time. And I think we've got, off the top of my head, I can think of maybe 5 different basic male body molds that they always use. Can we get some variation of something? I think I'm getting too far ahead of I'm starting to ramble. Let's just go over her sculpt and articulation. First, as you might have noticed, her kind of cape is really big, so it hinders a lot of articulation. It hangs freely, but it's tied around her neck, kind of hinders some stuff. Also, her hair is massive and doesn't allow for a whole lot of motion, but you'll see that soon. Like I just mentioned, she can't look up because of her hair. She can bury her chin down to her sternum almost. Her hair runs into her shoulder and her cape here, so she can only look that far right, or in your case left. She can look to the other side. She gets a decent amount of tilt. Shoulder can come up past 90. The cape is soft enough to allow her to spin 360. Single jointed elbow comes up past 90. Elbow swivel, wrist swivel, and a wrist pivot. She has a dumbbell joint. She can crunch forward a little bit. She can lean back a smidgen. She gets a little side to side. She gets to swivel. Kick forward at a 90. She can't kick back at all. Kicks out at a 45. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Ankle goes forward, back, and a rocker. Some of my chief complaints with her are paint apps, and this thing that Hasbro loves to do, like these are molded in white, but down here the calves and the forearms are molded in blue and painted white, so the blue bleeds through a little bit, and that's kind of upsetting. I get it, they want this metallic sheen, and it is nice, just these kind of things catch my eye a little bit. But the worst offense is her hair. Like, I don't know where all this came from. Maybe they tried to put a wash over it or something. I don't know, but down here her hair is a golden blonde, and then up here it just looks dirty. It looks like a black dye almost, and that's really off-putting for me. But other than those couple of things, it's not so bad overall. Next up is Shaman, which is that Bucky Cat mold that we get all the time. You can tell by the boots and the chest and all that. But just to get my gripe out of the way, they did the same thing. They cast this in green and put yellow. Should have cast it in yellow and put green. And the boots have a wash over them, sort of. It just makes them look dirty, though. It doesn't make it look like a wash, especially when everything else is so clean and yellow. Having the boots wash is a little strange. Even though you know the articulation of the Bucky Cat mold, we'll go over it anyway. He can look up, bury his chin, side to side, gets a decent amount of tilt, gets some shifting, shoulder comes up at a 90, spins 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows come up past 90, wrist swivel, and pivot. These cuffs are a separate piece and can come off if you remove the hand. But they're a molded cuff to the forearm, so they're not going to spin around, which is really nice. I like that. crunches forward, crunches back, waist swivel, kicks forward at 90, kicks back a little bit, kicks out at a 45, got a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, come up that far, boot swivel, ankle forward, back, and rocker. He's got this nice little cloth here on his waist. It is floating, so you can move it. He's got a cool little satchel here, but it doesn't prevent him from kicking out any further with this leg than this leg, so that's really nice. I don't know if his hair is supposed to be like this or if mine just showed up that way. Really nice face sculpt. There's a little bit of paint bleed around here on the little headband, especially right here. Overall, other than like the shoulders where it's really evident that this was cast in green and yellow was painted over it, that sticks out like a really sore thumb to me. But it's little details like that that really stick out to me. Well, maybe some people can just look over it, but it's one of those, once I know it's there, I can't not see it. Next up, we have Vindicator. She makes me a little upset looking at her, just because I remember Guardian, and this is the red that they were supposed to give him, and then we ended up with that kind of almost neon red. This red is much, much better. Again, the same female body mold as Snowbird, and Aurora is the same way, and it's the same body mold we almost always get, but we'll go over articulation anyway. So to start out, you can see there's a lot of gap in here because her neck is so skinny and her head's kind of big. So you're going to get a lot of crazy hyper motion here. She can touch the back of her head to her neck. She can touch her chin to her sternum. Look side to side. Stupid amount of tilt. A lot of shifting. Her ponytail can spin around in its socket. Shoulder comes up past 90, spins 360. Single jointed elbow comes up at a 90, elbow swivel, wrist swivel, and wrist pivot. She can't really crunch forward all that well, but she can lean way back. She's got a decent amount of side to side. She has swivel, but the sides right here kind of come down and prevent you from really, spinning that much. Kicks forward just a hair past 90, kicks back a little bit, kicks out at a 45, thigh swivel, double jointed knees come up that far, ankle goes back, forward, and a rocker. I love the red on Vindicator. I think it's great. I wish we'd gotten that red on Guardian, I really do, but I don't hold that against her. My only real gripe is that the whites don't quite match. They're different shades of white, if that makes any kind of sense. Other than that, I love this wash on the hair. That's awesome. And these goggles are pretty freaking cool. Next up, we have Puck, who used to be, or I guess technically, still is, but he's not, a Build-A-Figure, which I do not own. The Puck Build-A-Figure was a little more expensive than I was willing to pay, so I'm glad I was able to get this. Let's go over articulation. He looks up, buries the chin, looks side to side, a little bit of tilt, a little bit of shifting, shoulder comes up past 90, spins 360, single jointed elbow comes up at a 90, elbow swivel, and wrist swivel. He has no articulation in the abdomen, kicks forward at a 45, can't kick back, single jointed knee comes up that far, knee swivel, got a boot swivel, ankle does not go forward that far, ankle goes all the way back, and a rocker. A lot of articulation packed into such a small figure. Next up, we have Aurora, which is the same, female body mold as the rest of the team and most of the other females that we get. The sculpting usually changes from female to female. Without being too vulgar, it's usually in the chest area is where most of those changes take place, and on the backside, but it's still overall the same mold, and we get the same articulation because of it. So let's go over that. Because of her hair, that's all the further she looks up. She can bury her chin. She can look side to side. Really good amount of tilt. A little bit of shifting. Shoulder comes up way past 90. Spins 360. Single jointed elbow comes up past 90. Elbow swivel. Wrist swivel. And wrist pivot. She can crunch forward a little bit, lean back a little side to side, some swivel, kick forward at a 90, kicks back just a hair, kicks out at almost a 90, thigh swivel, double jointed knees come up that far, ankle goes forward, back, and a rocker. I don't have too many complaints with her necessarily, other than the generic, same kind of body mold articulation that we get with females. There's some mist paint here up in the armpit, but that's inherent in the design. I got some other splotches here and there. Overall, I really like the blue eyes. They come out super crisp, and the lipstick is nice. The eyebrows aren't smeared or anything, so, hair sculpt is nice, but it does prevent, full range of motion. For the last one, we have Northstar. It's that body mold that's like the Spider-Man 2099, Sunfire, Iceman, Over Surfer. You get the idea. It's that weird kind of angled butterfly joint. It's one of my favorite body molds, even if we do get it a lot. Anything with butterfly joints, I like it a lot. Let's go over articulation. Looks up, buries the chin, side to side, small amount of tilt, small amount of shifting. Shoulder comes up past 90, spins 360. That butterfly joint goes way back, forward, Got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, come up past 90, wrist swivel, and wrist pivot. He crunches pretty far forward, leans pretty far back. Got a waist swivel, kicks forward just a hair past 90, kicks back a little bit, kicks out at a 45, thigh swivel, double jointed knees come up that far. Got a boot swivel, ankle goes back, forward, and rocker. Unlike his sister, and similar to Vindicator, not all the whites match. Like this looks like it's kind of yellowing compared to the rest of his chest, and down here this star on his side. It's more like some things are cast in white and some things are cast in pearl, and it can be off-putting, but it doesn't really show up so well on the camera. Again, I really like this body mold, just the body mold itself. I have some missed paint here and there, and the face sculpt is really nice. The blue eyes match his sister's. Overall, it's pretty good. There you have it, folks. That's the Marvel Legends Alpha Flight team from Amazon. You can see I've got some additional characters to flesh out the team. A couple of related characters. I'm really glad that I got this pack. I mean, it was nice to knock out the rest of the team in one fell swoop without having to hunt down, go to this GameStop, go to that Walmart, go to this Target. You know, it was nice to just get them in one box and just finish out the team. So, if you like this review, then like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you didn't, let me know right down in the comments. We'll have a discussion about it. That's really all I got for you today. So, thanks for stopping by. Until next time, I'm Salty, signing off.
Hulk smash!